Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Thank you very much for your usual likes, your recommendation and the conversation after the whole video is uploaded. I want to say thank you for that, and we look forward to seeing more of your response, more of your like and subscription on this platform. So recently, for my first video, I was talking about culture and how culture can help you to improve your performance. So that's why I'm standing today. I'm sure a lot of you will be used to me sitting and talking, or some of our videos has always been we sit down and we have a conversation with you. But today I decided to try something different to suit what we want to talk about today, and that is cultural stagnation in business. So how do I know my business stagnation, and what are the possible way out of cultural stagnation? So we have a business owner, and let's assume the business name is ABC. So this business owner comes to me for consulting and says that he wants to restructure his business. He wants to have better process for his business. And I get to talk with this business owners. How do you even do your business currently? So he said you operate a power culture business. Based on what he said, that means people come to him to approve these. If they want to dispatch a particular item to another state, they will tell him that, okay, please, I want to dispatch this item. He still has to get authorization from him. That means if he's not in the office, the business will not continue. So that was the situation he was, and he felt like he needs to get a better plan. What happened to him? He identified that the structure and the plan he put in place was no longer working, and that is what structural stagnation is. It's a situation whereby the process, the ideas, the way of doing things in your organization is no longer yielding the results or the goals the goals that you want to achieve with it. I beg your pardon with that. So maybe you wanted to achieve high operating performance, or a structure whereby you want the business to function without you. You want a successful brand, and the culture you put in place is not really giving you that. That is when you know that yes, you're having cultural stagnation. Or maybe the external forces. The truth is, you can't control the external forces because it changes, it's vulnerable, it's volatile. Today, a policy comes today and it makes your process or your system not to work the way it used to work. There was one time that dispatch rider was banned in Lagos State. Imagine people that has invested in that kind of business. For those period of time, they could not operate. Or when you bought multiple bikes and you see that there's a policy where my bike cannot operate in Lagos State, you understand that the process or the business idea you put in place is no longer function. And it's not your fault that things are changing. It's just the fact that you were not prepared for the changes. So how do I know my business is suffering from cultural stagnation? Just like that man, how did he know? Because he felt like the results he was getting from running the business alone was not giving him the image he wants for his brand. So he decided to hire a new operations manager. Now initially, when he was doing the business by himself, he called his brother to do the business with him, and his brother was very successful. He did well. But you know, when you mix business with family members, there's a place where sentiment needs to comes in place, and you need to make some strategic decisions, and you see that this person is not a perfect fit for where you are going. Then you decide, okay, let me get an operations manager. Now they want to design the job description for the operations manager because you notice that the way you were running your business cannot be sustainable enough for the next phase you're envisioning the business. So that is the first symptoms. Is the normal routines you put in place is not giving you the results you want, or the normal process you put in place is not giving you the results you want. Secondly, the business is suffering. The business is suffering from poor sight. That means poor cultural sight. What this means is that you don't see a better way of running the business. You don't see a need to change the processes or the way you are doing your business. And when the environmental changes and the market force come in place, you find that you're struggling. You can't survive as a business owner. What it means is that you could not see yourself doing it in another way. Example is Nokia. You know, Nokia had a kind of, we want to be the king of durability in the market. Yes, they're still king of durability at some point, but the market changed. customer taste, preference changed, but they were still in that their perception, ideology of I want quality, durability, and the customer said we still want quality and durability, but our preference is now different. What we prioritize is different from what we used to like before. So the ability for you not to see a way of doing things in a better way shows you are already stagnant in your cultural setting. It shows that you're not ready for a change. It shows that your change management technique is poor. You're not flexible enough, and you can't maximize the market if you have that kind of poor cultural side. You're scared of trying a new way. You're scared of entering a new market. You're scared of doing a new thing, or bringing a new process, a new employee, whatever system that you feel that will work for you. But you're just scared to make that move. Just know that you are suffering from cultural stagnation. Another one I want to talk about is having a repetitive change of strategies, change of people. You just feel like this person is not working fine, so I just need to change you. Or you just feel like this thing is not working the way I want it. You just keep changing. It's a try and error approach. You're not consistent in the way of doing things. You tried this month because your competitors are doing it this way. It's just a man that feels like this is what is moving in the market, and it feels like, okay, because I can't do this, I want to just run into the market. If you see large corporations, even if they have the capacity and the competence to launch out into that business, they take that time to process the whole business formation. They don't just feel like because I can't do this. Look at 7up, for instance. They had potential to be producing Too Sure. The Too Sure brand that we see everywhere, the hand sanitizer, the dishwasher. They had the potential over time, but they were not just so quick to respond. As a business owner, you need to take time to process that new ideas you want. So if you see that you keep changing processes, you keep changing strategies, it's a sign that you are going to not yield the results you desired as a business owner or for your business, because you have not allowed a kind of strategy you even put in place in the first time to yield the results you wanted to yield. So that is what happens with people that have cultural stagnation, because they keep trying new things, they keep trying new way of doing things. And the truth is, when you keep trying new things over and over, you don't give it time to blossom. You lose the essence of bringing that process in the first place. Just imagine that man that said he wants to improve his operations model, and he employed the operations manager, but he keeps making a decision and doesn't allow the operations manager to make that decision. What is happening to him? He's been stagnant because the real essence of employing that person is not maximizing it. You need to think that, okay, if I want to get ready for this change, am I mentally ready to change this idea? Or you employ a brand strategist and you still want to sit at the head of creative when you're not creative enough. It shows a symptom of cultural stagnation, because you keep trying an error that I don't trust this person enough to be the brand strategist, so I still want to be involved. As an entrepreneur, you need to know when to step back. You need to know when to know that this thing, let me allow people that are consistent enough, that have the skill set to achieve what I want to do. Then thirdly, or I lost count of the numbers, let's talk about the decline in human resources. It's a sign of cultural stagnation, where people come into your organization and you just spend 3 months, 4 months, some months, and they just want to leave. The symptoms that the process you have put in place is not accommodating enough to make them to maximize their potential as an employee. For instance, like that man I mentioned, if you employed an operations manager or you employ a brand strategist and he has nothing to do, he's going to leave you because he has nothing to do. So you will know that there is no process put in place for those people to function, or maybe they don't have a good employee welfare or whatever. I've discussed about that in my previous video, so you can check about all the ways you can improve your organizational performance through culture. So you can check my first video on culture and performance. But today I'm talking about why are people leaving. If people keep leaving, it means the way of doing things in that business is not working fine. It's not your attitude towards the business, your belief, your ideology. People that are working with you don't even believe in it. They feel it's not conducive enough, so they want to leave. Any slightest opportunity they have, they want to leave your company. So that is one of the symptoms, or that is a huge symptom that is even happening in Nigeria that we find ourselves. A lot of labor are leaving Nigeria because they feel that Nigeria is not giving them the system to grow. I would say we have national cultural stagnation in Nigeria, because everybody wants to leave, everybody wants to japa. But bring it to your company. Why are people leaving my company? So analyze that. Why are people leaving my company? I heard of a story that a whole technical department is leaving the company. Like imagine a whole full unit, both the head of IT, the staffs in the IT department are leaving the company at the same time, and the management is yet to unveil that truth that everybody is leaving. What actually happened? I think there should be one employee that says, "Boss, I'm actually leaving in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks." Nobody is saying anything, so you will know that these people don't feel part of the family in the first place. The employee didn't feel belonged in the organization, so they want to leave. So they feel like they don't owe you anything, especially when an SME that doesn't have a structure. They feel like, oh, I don't owe this person anyway. There was nothing in my offer letter that tells me that I have to tell them that I want to leave within 1 month. Maybe your offer letter says 2 weeks, or if that's even if the employee has an offer letter. So that's a different ballgame on its own. So when you're experiencing a decline in human resources, just know you are a victim of cultural stagnation. So I've explained the symptoms of cultural stagnation. So what are the possible ways? How can I get out of it? You already know where you are as a business owner. You already know what is happening in your business, and you know that this is stagnant. That's why my business is not going forward. My business is not going forward because I keep applying the same strategy, or I keep behaving in a particular way that is commercially destructive. Maybe in your company, now the value of your company is when people come in, you welcome them, you smile to them, you smile with them, and you attend to them in a calm way. And you have an employee that is a front desk and he doesn't know how to smile, and people will like, I won't go to that company because they don't smile in that company. And what you want to buy, you need to smile for people to what you're selling, you need to smile for people to wear them, or to believe that, oh, I'm actually using this brand, I'm actually using this product. But the employee is having a kind of attitude, or you yourself as a business owner, you are behaving in the way that it's commercially destructive. I repeat myself, commercially destructive. So you need to know how you represent yourself in the society. Don't just say I have the lifestyle, I have the your followers, your customer may not like the lifestyle you are living. You need to sit down and say, I think this lifestyle I'm living is not yielding the result I want. Don't have the African mentality that when I've made money, I want to buga. Your customers does not want that. Your customer wants a lifestyle that encourages them to give your business goodwill. So you have to be careful of the way you live your life in the business world. So now we have talked about that. Let's look at the possible way out. How can I get out of this cultural stagnation? Firstly, everything is not about you. It's not your fault it's not your problem that what you put in place is not working. As I said earlier, environmental forces can come in place whereby the external environment is volatile and it keeps changing. People keep changing. So your culture has to change. As the environment is changing, your culture has to change. That is the first way out. You have to know that the environment is changing and you have to change with the environment. There is no permanent culture. See, companies are right, they keep redefining the definition of their culture. They keep having a different philosophy as times goes on, because that philosophy must meet up with the needs in the market. So if you started out like, oh, your definition of customer satisfaction was to meet the need of the customer. Now, customer is going beyond meeting their needs. So even after I purchase, what is the reverse logistics for this business? So you know that you have to add more definition to your culture. You have to have more definition to your mission, vision, statement. What I'm trying to say is that there is nothing like a permanent culture. I started this business to like this, and it has to go like this, and it has to end like this. There's nothing like that. You need to change at some point. Second, you prioritize your business over your ideology. Know when to step down or just leave as a business owner. I don't mean leave the business completely. I mean know when to let people that have the competence to run the business for you. Bill Gates is not everywhere in his business. He has employed people to make decisions for him. He has employed people to go through the process with him. So know when to step. Prioritize that business. What is the purpose of this business? Is to create value. So if my ideology will no longer deliver this, let me step down. Don't be so intoxicated with power and forget about the business. Let the business be your priority. Let the business be the reason why you are doing everything. And the business and the people of which you are servicing should be the drive of your culture. With that, you'll be flexible enough to know what the market needs at a particular time. So the second one is The third one, I'm not good with numbers, so let's just flow with the system. Now, remove the signs of old culture quickly. You need an aggressive leader. Nigeria needs an aggressive leader for this. To bring it to your business, you need those leaders that not aggressive in a negative way, but they are firm enough to influence a change. These are people that don't care about your emotions as a business owner, or what will the employee feel. What their own ethics, their own work ethics is the outcome is more than the process. What I mean is that the good of doing that strategy outweighs the process they are using. So that means they want to achieve cultural change, they want to achieve a change system, and they don't even care about what you think or feel. What they just want to know that if this change is going to bring about the result we want to achieve, then we need to bring it in place. But a simple way is this: you buy a bike and you notice that you have this free will that I trust this employee. When they dispatch at a certain point, they give me feedback. I feel like after some months, they don't give feedback the way you want them to give feedback, and you're thinking of, how can I do this business in a particular way that will make me to meet my customers' lead time? Put a tracker on board, and if they're saying something different from the tracker, you know when to fire some people. You're not in the business to run generosity, and business to make money and service your customer. Know when to be aggressive with your decision. If you see that a process is not working. I recently consulted for a client, and there was this particular staff. He just leaves the office because he was the best staff of the year. He just leaves and run business the way he wants. When I came on board, I said, you know what, you will leave this company in the next 2 months. That is it. The person has to leave the company. You don't just behave in a nonchalant way and expect the company to smile at you. You have to enforce some rules in place so that people that are resistant to change will make adjustments. People are naturally resistant to change when they have job security on a job, or when they feel comfortable, or when they are deriving self-actualization on the job. And when you are bringing a new change, they feel like, I don't think I want to adjust to this new change. What is happening is that they are being resistant to your change. So you need an aggressive leader that says, this is the way the company wants to run it. And if you don't want to be integrated into the system, it's okay, the door is open. Yes, I'm a believer of employees' welfare, employees' involvement, but at times you need to be strict and get the things done. That is another way of getting out of cultural stagnation. You need to be firm with your decision and get it done the way you want it to be done. Another thing is mix new culture with existing one. What this means is that the new culture you are trying to bring, let it be mixed with the old one. I give you an example. There's this company that they want to transition from coming to the office physically to working from home. So in order for them to transition from new to the old one, what they started doing is that while they were still working from the office, they started giving the employees internet allowance. That internet allowance, even while they're still using the company's internet, they were still being paid for that allowance, because they wanted them to just know that we value the fact that you're using your internet sometimes when you leave the office and the like. So when the company now finally decided to transition into working from home for a period of time, the employees find it easy to accept the change because they were enjoying the allowance of internet even while enjoying the office allowance at the same time. So they don't need to build a new payroll system for that kind of thing, because I've included that into their payroll system. So they're mixing the old culture with the new culture till the old culture fades out. Now the old culture of coming to the office every day, you no longer have an excuse of not working from your house because you have internet facility. So these are the ways to mix old and new culture together till the new culture outweighs the old culture, that the employee find it easy to adapt to the changes they are bringing into the company. Then last but not the least is learning and development. If you want your employee to change, if you want your company to change, get involved in mentorship, get involved in training, get involved in seminars. Don't just assume that you will know everything by sitting down in your office, or by just doing maybe few sessions with some people. You need to get involved. You need to have a mentor that you're accountable to. You need to have people that help you to check your business. You need to have a benchmark, that this is how I want this business at a period of time, and this is how I want to benchmark my business. Who are the people that I'm competing with? Learning and development to give you that exposure to know how to benchmark. Learning and development to tell you who to be your mentor and what you should introduce into your business. I hope with all this I have explained, you understand how to navigate cultural stagnation and possible way out for your business. Thank you for today.